And welcome back to part 7 of What If Naruto Had a Sister. Last time in Naruto What If, we had the preliminary matches of the Chunin exams. And we had the final matches picked. Now, for those of you who were keeping track last time, this was all done at random. So the matches are as follows. Sasuke versus Neji. Shikamaru versus Lee. Gaara versus Sakura. Naruto versus Naruko. And Hinata versus Kiba. Now, I feel as though, given the order I have these in, that I might need to swap some things around just a little bit. So what I might do is swap, not like who's fighting who, but when they're fighting each other in the storyline. What I think I'm going to actually do is have Shikamaru and Lee fight first, then have Hinata versus Kiba, and basically then I'm going to just bop everything down. Gaara versus Sakura. More or less what we're going to do is we're going to have Sasuke versus Neji and Gaara versus Sakura near last. Because they want Gaara to unleash on the sand. They had to wait for his match. So, frankly, it makes sense to at least let everyone get a match in beforehand. But we're not even toward at the matches yet because we still have to go through the training. So let's get down to business to defeat Neji. Actually, it's Naruko in this case. So, like I said in the previous one, Sakura is training under Kurenai. Anko got the reins in on Naruko. Hinata is going to be probably training actually mostly with her father, who is surprisingly impressed. She passed her match, basically. And Naruto, just as it is in canon, well, he got stuck with the closet perv Ebisu. Now, that said, that doesn't mean everything goes the same as it did in the original. Naruto is obviously still completely apprehensive about Ebisu. He doesn't, not lash out. That's not the right problem. That's not the right term. He doesn't openly defy or reject Ebisu like he did in the original. But he is still very against Ebisu. So Ebisu and him talk. He pretty much drains his wallet as they have lunch. And then they go to training. Now, with the training, though, what's really interesting here is that because Naruto doesn't have the seal on him, that 5-pronged seal, his chakra's completely fine. Add on to the fact that we've actually already pushed past normal chakra training in this particular what if. Naruto can already walk on water and climb trees. So the question is, what the hell would Ebisu actually start him on? And Naruto even says, "Is like, no, you'll be," because they go to the hot springs. Like, what are we doing here? You'll be training to walk on water like this. Like, yeah, I can already do that. Oh, you can, please. This is an advanced technique, not something easily simple Genin can master. It's like, see, it's like, amazing. How did you say? Yeah, Kakashi Sensei taught us this. Me and Naruko already knew how to do tree walking exercise. So Kakashi Sensei pretty much felt and it taught us how to do the tree walking exercise pretty early on. So we basically just worked on this during during our way mission. So what else are you going to teach me? And Ebisu was just thinking. I was like, well, we were going to focus on that for a time, but I suppose next we could. And then he stops like, here's some research. It's like, are you spying on the bathhouse? Oh, you old man. I would not allow any irreparable behavior. Oh, please. Keep it down, you old fool. You're trying to get us caught. And Naruto's just looking at us like, you just flagged my teacher, what the hell? And Ebisu was out cold. It's like, yeah, well, he was getting in the way of my research. Research? What the hell? It's like, I'm a famous writer, you see. I need quite the inspiration. Perhaps you've heard of me? It's like, wait, I know that, but, oh, I see you have heard. I have become quite famous indeed. Indeed. And so Naruto's just pestering. He's like, I don't know who you are. It's like, you don't know who you're talking to? I am the gallant Jiraiya! I gotta love Jiraiya. It's like, fine, whatever. Then you got at least trains like, I don't have time for this kid. And so Naruto's just, fine, I'm sorry, it really is. Ah, please. I know the reading of this book is for only people of a proper age. No kid like you could have never actually read it. Now go away. And Naruto's just he's completely miffed. Obviously, he's still harassed Jiraiya to some degree, but I think Naruto would actually just give up for the day at least. I mean, like, fine, screw it. I'm gonna at least just brush up on everything I already know, and maybe I can work out something else. Fine, whatever. And Naruto's busy letting off some steam in a training area, probably near the river, honestly. Maybe just beating on a tree, practicing Shadow Clone Shuriken Jutsu, practicing it with everything he's got: kunai, shuriken, the ninja wire he picked up. For it, it's like, how the hell am I gonna? How the hell am I going to take on Naruko? And for that matter, take on Sasuke later. And, just thinking about it. And Jiraiya was like, hey, kid, well, you seem to be working hard. It's like, wait, you come back to finally, to just didn't, not deny me. Come back to just, sit and watch me just train? It's like, well, I was thinking about it, because Jiraiya obviously knows who Naruto is. He does know who Naruko is, too. He just hasn't met Naruko personally yet. I was thinking, it's like, I did kind of cost you a bit of a teacher, so I figured I'd help you out. Well, at least it's only for a little while, so why not? It's like, really? All right, sweet. And then he explains the whole nature of the fox. It's like, have you ever felt another chakra? It's like, yeah, the Nine Tails, right? It's like, oh, so you're aware of it, huh? It's like, yeah, I tapped into it once or twice, but it's only really when I was angry. It's like, I see. Well, to train you, I'm going to have to teach you this jutsu. And Jiraiya goes through his training methods. And yeah, unfortunately, this is where Naruto gets the short end of the stick, because he shows off what he can do, but nothing of what Naruto's capable of and what's happened in the story really changes what Jiraiya would be teaching him in this situation. He doesn't have natural access to the Fox Chakra like he does in some other interpretations. So he's unfortunately just gets taught the summoning jutsu and how to kind of access Kurama's chakra unconsciously. The Naruto story basically cuts back to where he wakes up in the hospital. As for everyone else, Lee is training, Neji's training, Hinata's training, Naruko's training, and Naruko, it's going to be interesting for Naruko. We'll talk about that when we get to that. And so everyone is getting the training they need to get training in, Sasuke, the whole 9 yards. So really, that fast forwards us all the way now to the actual day of the exams. Naruto and Naruko are nearly late, but just because family habit, let's just put it that way. I do find that episode kind of amusing. He's just trying to get there and he can't. And he barely gets there in time. So, they both wish each other good luck. Naruto then is like, wait, what are you wearing? And he notices that apart from Naruko's standard attire, which if you need to know what she wears, I think it was the second episode I brought that up, what are her wardrobes like, she's also wearing a kind of shortened version of Anko's trench coat. It's like, oh, this is a gift from Anko Sensei. Oh, wow, you really did well, huh, in training? Yeah, it's like, among other things. She's just, you okay? Yeah, fine. Like, the horror. But everyone gets there. Sasuke is late, so they begin so they just said, all right, we'll start the match. And, and luckily, in this case, Neji's and Sasuke's is last, or second to last. So the match begins, and I bumped up with Shikamaru, Nara, and Rock Lee. Stay in the ring. Like, all right, prepared for the match, Shikamaru, Nara. I will not let you win, but let's have a glorious battle of youth. It's like, can I just give up now? And so Lee comes in, and Shikamaru tries to shout out possession because Shikamaru did not bother to train. We know that for a fact he didn't. And just and Shikamaru and Rock Lee just he got faster basically, and just boom, quickly just takes out Shikamaru. That's a real, as smart as Shikamaru is, because of the type of person he is, he would actually very quickly lose in a fight to Lee. And sure enough, he just goes down straight, hard and fast. Next up, we have Hinata Hyuga versus the winner is Rock Lee. Yes, the power of youth. Only Okai Sensei. No, none of that. Like 10 just hits him on the head. Next up, we have Kiba versus Hinata. They're both like, good luck. No matter what happens, we're still friends, right? And teammates, right? Of course. And so, they duke it out. Kiba's not stupid though. He knows he can't be in. He can only fight at close range. Well, he used to be able to only fight at close range. Hold on, I need to double check something about Kiba's chocolate elements real quick. Kiba Naruto. Let's see here now. So Kiba has Earth style. All right, that makes this a little bit more difficult in terms of figuring out how he would have pulled this off. However, I imagined he could have pulled off a technique where he spins, rotates for his fang over fang, but then stops and immediately just like basically like a gust of air comes and blasts towards Hinata, and Kiba and Nakamura kind of like tag team with this. Plus, the fang over fang is difficult for any person to hit just because of the amount of rotation doing. So he's immediately going into fang over fang to keep Hinata at bay with her rotation. Or no, with the rotation of his attack is what I meant, not her rotation. And she can't necessarily ping him with his face without, going grinding right into the air or grinding her hand right into him. However, she also knows he has to stop at some point. So when they come in, she basically, does rotation. And now while I believe it's implied she struggled with the 64 palms in the manga until like the final act of Shippuden, like the final war in Shippuden. I imagine rotation, because of just how naturally flexible she is, would not be that difficult for her to pull off. So she used it for, and Hiyashi probably even notes that to Hanabi, that even though her sister didn't seem to show worth at first, it turns out she actually had a great natural predisposition towards the rotation style or rotation technique, to which she just bounces Kiba right off, rushes in, and just pings him a couple times, and he goes down. So the winner is Hinata Hyuga. Yay! So now we have, and I think I'm gonna have it where Naruto and Naruko go next. Like Naruto Uzumaki versus Naruko Uzumaki, and everyone's like, "Naruto, the twins? Oh wait, aren't they related?" It's like, yeah. It's like, and they come down, and Naruko's just looking at Naruto. It's like, "You ready for this, Naruto? Or you ready for this, baby brother?" By one, you gotta keep calling me that. Why 1 minute or something like that? You're older than me. Still makes me older. It's like, bring it. I'm not holding back. You better not. And so their fight begins. They both, start off with the big Shadoko Shuriken Jutsu. Except Naruko's aren't aren't completely Shuriken. Naruto quickly, it feels a couple poof, poof, as he dodges, throws a couple clones in the way, and realizes that there were Senbons in there too, just like Senbons in there too. And just what? And, like, and all of a sudden Naruko's got these Senbons just coming out almost like Wolverine claws. It's like, I told you Go Sensei taught me pretty well. Now then. And then she just and she's multiplying the shuriken as she's throwing them. So she's like throwing 1, 5 show up, another 5 show up. It's like, oh crap! And Naruto's like, oh, this isn't gonna be easy. And all of a sudden, he hears striking Shadow Snake. It's like, whoa! And the clones is grabbed and just brought in. She just pops it, and she's. Now I was like, he's really on the back burner here. It's like, I gotta close in the distance, but how am I gonna do that? Sorry, Naruto, I'm not gonna let you do that. All of a sudden, she sees the seven-bone thorn again. This time, or actually, she throws a couple kunai with some smoke bombs, and Naruto's just making clones, make sure all of his bases are covered. Just, where is she? And all of a sudden, all the clones, Clone Shuriken Jutsu, just a big wall. He believes he hit her. It's like, Naruko, and all of a sudden, poof, it's like, crap. It's like, got you, Naruto-kun. And then all of a sudden, he gets wrapped up, and not a large snake, but a medium size. Like if you know what an anaconda size is like, it's a big constrictor, maybe like telephone pole, and it wraps around Naruto. Thank you, and I'm just gonna make up a random name here. Something that would sound good for a second. Naugi? Thank you, Naagi. That doesn't sound bad. Naagi. Thank you, Naagi. He's like, you're welcome, Master Naruko. And it's like, yep, Anko's really, and everyone's looking at Anko and say, oh, I'm so proud of her. She's so sadistic and toying with her opponent, even if it is her brother. It's like, well, yeah, well, surrender, Naruto. I've got you beat. Yeah, looks like that, doesn't it? Yep, and I can tell this isn't a clone either. Otherwise, you would have popped out of existence already with the amount of pressure. It's like, and Naruto's just like, he can't really scream out. Come on, Naruto, just give up already. I don't want to break your bones or anything. You can't get out of there even with your hands out. It's like, you're right. But and all of a sudden he bites his thumb, and she's like, "What is he?" It's like, "You're not the only one who learned a summoning jutsu. All of a sudden, and I can say this, Naruto, because he does have better chakra control, probably did get the summoning jutsu down a little earlier. So he probably had time to at least practice a little bit. So he does end up summoning Gamma. And, this Naagi is like, he's got the Toad summoning contract. There's only one way he could have gotten. That's like, but you've gotten pretty strong, sis. But tell me, if you tried something like this out and it's like, ready, Gamma? Ready, no. And we never actually hear Gamma talk, but I'm sure Gamma can talk. It's like, but he just gives a nod, like, and just all of a sudden, combining, Shadow Clone Shuriken Jutsu with a summoning jutsu. I've used this once or twice before What Ifs. The Toad Shadow Clone Jutsu, and all of a sudden, basically like a dozen Gammas and Naruto around them, and even the snake's like, this is not good. And Snake wraps around, like, yeah, this isn't good. And Naruko's like, I don't have a lot of Sen bones left, and they're probably not going to even get through that Toad's hide. It's like, what are we going to, all of a sudden, the tongues come out. The snake tries to bypass a couple of them, pops one or two of the toads, but the toads ultimately wrap the snake up in their tongues. Like, ugh. And Naruko is only bounds, like, and I know you well enough, sis, to know you're also not a shadow clone. This time, crap. And but all of a sudden, Naruto, pops over and grabs her hands, making sure it's like, you're not. You're not, I'm making sure he's behind her, making sure her hands are behind her back so she can't get at anything. Making sure you can't use any more jutsu yourself. Ref, I give up. It's like, and Uncle's like, yeah, you did great. Woo, I love you, bloody. It's like, yeah, that was a really good move, Naruto. It's like, thanks, sis. Oh, man, you almost had me there for a second, though. It's like, yeah, and I'll have you next time for sure. It's like, because honestly, you take Naruto's Fox Chakra out of the equation, skill and technique wise, I mean, the Toad Shadow Clone Jutsu, yeah, it's a cool technique and did prove useful, but it's impractical in terms of its use in a normal fight. This was an exception fight because otherwise Naruko's really got the edge now in terms of skills and overall jutsu under her belt. She's now got this striking Shadow Snake. Knows how to use Senbone. She's got the summoning jutsu as well. Naruto just learned the summoning jutsu and combined the Shadow Clone Shuriken with the Toad jutsu as summoning. So, yeah. Ultimately, though Naruto is the winner, everyone cheers. Then you get into Gaara versus Sakura. Oh, poor Sakura. And Sakura is very, I don't really, look, and Sakura, Naruto, and Naruko encourage her, excuse me, I got hiccups. Encourage her, don't give up. At least not yet. This guy's, and Naruto warns, because he had an interaction in the hospital with Gaara. Gaara's not someone you can mess with. Just be careful. That's all. Be careful, Sakura. We don't need you getting hurt. Don't push yourself any harder than you have to. And Sakura wants to prove herself miserably, but at the same time, if Naruto is saying this, Naruto, who's always been encouraging and never back down, saying be careful. It's like, okay, I should be careful. She goes down and doesn't go well for her. Like she's throwing kunai and stuff, not working. Gaara, tries to hit her. She's dodging, and ultimately she gets caught up in the sand. And it's like, ugh. I'll give you one opportunity to give up. It's like, well, you had your chance, but Mother would love your blood. And then he just crushes her into flower blossoms. It's like, what? This is genjutsu? And please. And he just releases the genjutsu, and Sakura's just like, ugh. It's like, I told you. That was a clever trick, but you're not. But that's not good enough. And the sand again grabs her and disappears into a tree. It's like, another one. And he tries to spell. This time, it's not as easy. It's a much higher level genjutsu. And people are looking at Kurna and say, Kakashi was right. She certainly had a knack for it. And all of a sudden, he finds himself in the tree, just like, tree binding jutsu. And all of a sudden, she tries to grab him with the kunai, but the sand is still instinctive, and Shikaku is a separate entity. Breaks the genjutsu. She does go flying back from the force of it because she did have to, get near him to use the kunai. And it's like, you're annoying. And, she's like, and she uses a substitution to get out of there, and she realizes, like, I'm not going to be able to. She quickly realizes, I can't take this guy on. He's dispelling every one of my genjutsu. I would say she might have one other genjutsu up her sleeve, but it would probably. But I think she realizes that it's just not going to work. Like, genjutsu isn't going to be an effective technique on this guy. So she ultimately, I think Sakura, unlike Shikamaru, who just got gut checked and knocked out by Lee, Sakura is the one who basically realizes, like, after trying everything, like trying maybe some explosive tags, all that, she realizes, like, I surrendered. No, you cannot surrender. This match isn't over yet. The match is over. Now you'll wait your next opponent as soon as the final match is called. Is that clear? Fine. And so he walks off. And everyone's just like, oh boy. And so finally the battle with Neji and Sasuke is set to take place. Sasuke is still running late. A few more moments and Sasuke will be disqualified, and he shows up at the last moment in that cool black suit. And so, are we late? You almost didn't make it, Kakashi, but luckily you're on time. And Sasuke basically is glaring daggers at him and saying, well, at least we made it on time. Good luck, Sasuke. So that is where we're going to leave off with Neji and Sasuke facing us. Looks like you finally get to have that match after all, don't we, Hyuga? Yes, we do, but it doesn't matter. Fate's already decided who's going to win. I agree. I agree. For the first time, I'm agreeing with you. And so they kind of square off, and that's where we're going to end this chapter with Sasuke and Neji squaring off. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you for part 8 next Wednesday. Until then, like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put it in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. And I'll see you folks on the flip side. Later.